My name is John Carpenter, and I'm sitting here today with the one, the only, Roddy Piper.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, man, it's nice.
It's been 12 years since John and I have watched this movie. And we're going to be so truthful with you. Because it was a fun, hard movie to make.
Oh, we had a great time making it, though. But we had to put in a little bit of pain and suffering to get it done, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But it was all worth it. You know, like here, remember this? You tell me. I says, how much? He says, what was it? $12,000 to have the train pass by.
That's right.
And so the guy missed the track or something, and we had to do it again.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, we introduced you right away. Here you are. This is kind of an interesting film. This was made during the Reagan years in the United States, and I was trying to say something about it in a science fiction movie, and I was also trying to, I don't know, maybe elevate science fiction and invasion movies a little bit higher than they had been. But you played a man named John Nada. Nada means nothing. Nobody.
Let me help you with that. Nothing. Yes.
He's nobody. He's
worm on the sidewalk when it's raining. That's what Nada means.
But he's very important to our story. He's the guy who uncovers everything that happens. I think we're seeing the credits here. These are French credits. Basically, they released this movie in Europe as Invasion Los Angeles.
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, Invasion of Los Angeles.
You know what a lot of people don't realize, John, is you were so much ahead of your time because I think this is happening. I kept the glasses.
You can still see through them, can't you?
I can still see through them, yes, and I take them to every Hooters I can. No, excuse me.
Shame on you.
No, I'm a grandfather. Yeah,
shame.
Just teasing there now.
Shame on you. Now, we're downtown Los Angeles. I remember these shooting days. Probably you do, too. It was... we had some weather and some interesting conditions in downtown Los Angeles.
Like paying the gangs off.
Oh, yeah. Paying the gangs off. A lot of homeless folks around.
Yeah. Which I must give credit. John is the kind of guy that we needed homeless folks in a particular scene that you'll see coming up. And so John went and grabbed all the homeless folks and fed them and got them a payday and took care of them. And so the homeless folks you're seeing in there are the real homeless folks. Yep. And I thought that was a pretty classy thing to do.
I met you, basically, the first time I met you was at WrestleMania 3 in Pontiac, Michigan, the biggest wrestling event of all time. I think it was
93,000 people live and whatever.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
situation.
Silverdome, Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah.
And you had a big suite there, and they said, John Carpenter wanted to meet me. And how do I look? About 40 pounds overweight. This scene here.
This is when you're in the basically the unemployment office and you're trying to get a job or trying to get some benefits, and you're saying you're saying that you're basically one of the working poor. You know, you got your tools with you. You're a good man, and they turn you down.
And it's very much like it is today, because you get out there and they take a look at you and how you're dressed and stuff, and they don't give you a chance to get a job because of the way you look, but they don't give you a shower to clean up to get the job. So, very true.
Raymond St. Jacques is the street. Now, he's no longer with us. He passed on.
What a wonderful guy.
Yeah, he was a nice man. He was a very nice man. He had a long career in the business. And he plays the blind man who can see. There's a lot of kind of really, I guess you could say, slightly Shakespearean tones to this. Is like Macbeth and the witches, where they're predicting the future. He's kind of I don't want to compare this to Macbeth. He's kind of telling us what's going on.
Otherwise, we used to drink the wine out of skulls afterwards.
That's right.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, we opened number one with this film, which was fascinating to me. I was really
and me too.
Interesting. Was your first starring role? I think you had done a movie before, hadn't you, Ronnie?
Well, I had been on screen before, but I had never been with a real director.
Well,
No,
now.
I won't pull no punches, man. This is the best job I've done on the screen because of the director. That's fact. It's a fact. And here I can remember this scene and trying to get used to feeling what these, I lived on the street myself, so it didn't take long to kind of get the feeling what's going on. I'm looking and I'm seeing all the different dilemmas that are happening in all the different rooms, and you know what, that's just about what life is like, especially when you get in the burbs or the tenements or whatever country we're talking about. Everybody's got their own little life and they think that that's it and it's all revolving. We've all got these all little lives, but nobody's helping nobody.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that you were trying to portray.
That's absolutely right. And I thought you brought an authenticity. See, I couldn't see some polished guy. I'll say Robert Redford. You need to have a little bit of street in you to play this role, I thought.
Yeah.
You need to have a little toughness.
Little toughness. But I just like you.
So now you're trying to get a job as a foreman is telling you that there's no work, and basically everywhere you go, you're kind of running into
dead
tough
wall.
times.
Yeah, dead wall.
Yeah.
Nothing to eat.
And this was actually a fact of life back in the 80s. It's improved a great deal now, but a lot of the safety net was cut away and so forth. But regardless of that, I got pegged. Still get pegged as kind of, there you go. Now you actually get to show off a little physique
Now,
there.
let me tell you the rumor. The rumor was that you had taken my head and put it on someone else's body. And that's why remember, we trained hard for this one. And people don't believe that's my body.
What are you talking about?
When I got back and I had to do a WrestleMania or something, the fans were saying that you had adjusted it by computer and put my head on somebody else's body because
ridiculous.
I could never look that good.
That's ridiculous. I don't believe that.
No, I swear to God, that was the rumor going around.
Oh, man. Oh, that's ridiculous. Now, here's Keith David. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
I first worked with him in '82 on The Thing and subsequently on this, and he's just a terrific guy. You guys were great together.
Well, one thing, too, with Keith was I was definitely not the most experienced actor here, and Keith had no problem in sharing, helping me with my scene, finding out where it was, and by the time we would get to you would bring the scene together, but just a sharing, terrific actor, and that's hard to find.
Yeah, it is.
That's hard to find.
Well, you've had quite a bit of experience now in making some films. And
25 films we've
that's
done.
amazing.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
I want to learn how to act one of these days and make a real good one.
You know what? You've made more movies than I have. I've only made 20.
Yeah, but you made 20 good ones.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Not all of them, not all of them. That's amazing, Rod.
Here we're trying to become buddies, but both of us have all this pride and going on, and I'm not listening to him, but this is how people then were living.
Some of them were living in little camps like this, and this was a part of I don't know. It's a part of America that some people don't like to see. They don't want to know about it. They don't want to know about these folks.
No, they don't.
Especially the teenage. These teenage homeless kids now. Oh, it's so tough. Some of them haven't had a chance. They're out there. They've been in foster homes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
And it's terrible.
It is. And so they end up in jail because nobody cares, but everybody says, gee, we should do something about that.
I know. There's the one, the only Peter Jason.
Yeah. That's when we did this scene the first time. I think this was the first day, and so the first time I did it, I was a little nervous, and so after I finished the scene, he says, so where'd you get Mr. Mumbles from? Which, thank you very much.
Well, you were underplaying it. You're underplaying
Thank
it.
you.
That's what
Thank you, sir.
You did it exactly right. You underplayed it. Now, this brings back memories. We were shooting in downtown L.A., but right to the west of the freeway, there's still this area that we built this set. It's still there. They haven't built anything over it. You can still stand down there.
This set here?
This one right here with a wall there. They've never really fixed it up. I've driven past there and had a little nostalgic moments looking at this area. I remember us out there. We shot days and nights there, and I have some real good memories of this movie.
Yeah.
You're chowing down there, pal. Eating like you haven't eaten before. Well, you never had a real. You were never shy about
No, getting
culinary
from the hand to the mouth. No, we had that down. You had us here starting to bond, and Keith is talking about the government and he's talking about what they're doing to them and the suppression, which was really important to the beginning of the movie, so you could understand where we were coming from, and that's something I remember you telling me about the two characters have to bond together to make this movie work, and this is the scene that we worked hard on.
Oh yeah, and you guys, we rehearsed not just the later fights, we rehearsed the acting between the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one day I sent you guys out and I said, be in your character and go have lunch.
Yes.
Off you went, and you came back and I said, well, what happened? And you said, it was just, we didn't have to say much. There we were together.
We're comfortable.
Yeah.
We're real comfortable together.
Yep. That was interesting. Now this is a nice kind of backlit shot there.
Beautiful shot. Now you had an idea here, but I don't know if I can say it.
What's that? Oh, God, what was my idea?
Well, the idea was, because of Americana and what was going on, that's my pitiful harmonica playing there. That song, God bless his soul, Jay the Alaskan York made up, called La Brea Tar Pit Blues, just to give him credit.
I remember that.
You know,
who was Jay? What was Jay Alaskan what?
Jay the Alaskan York. He was 320 pounds, whip around his neck, lineman boots, and he'd go in and he'd say, for breakfast, I want a pound of bacon and a dozen eggs. And I'd say, can I have a Diet Coke, please, sir?
Was he in the wrestling?
Wrestler? Oh, yeah, he outraised me.
Really?
Yeah, we fast rod together and threw buck knives. It was giving me an education.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. There's Buck Flower, the legendary.
Buck. Yeah.
Legendary Buck Flower. Now we're in our night sequences, and we begin to find out a little bit from this TV. This is basically telling the truth, but is coming through, and everything beginning to get little headaches from it. We're kind of laying in the plot here a little bit.
Us took the hackers months to figure out how to do this.
This movie cost about $4 million to make.
$4 million. You see, what you did here, just really quickly, back in 1954, they had a thing called the Brunswick Affair. And do you know about the Brunswick Affair?
No, I don't.
Brunswick Affair was a television they had, and the people would buy it, and all of a sudden a housewife would come home with 50 pounds of dog food, and she didn't own a dog. And they would be like Tide. I'm making the products up. 10 boxes of Tide. And what they were doing was just what you had them doing here. They were sending signals out through the TV.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and it's very in history. You look back at it, and it'll tell you about the Brunswick Affair.
I'll be damned.
So, and that's why we're getting headaches, and that's why that's exactly what's happening here. So very truthful.
Oh,
Very truthful.
Well.
Hey, seen MTV lately?
yeah, well, this was based on a short story, this whole thing, 8 o'clock in the morning. But I changed it a great deal. The original short story was by Ray Nelson, and it is a guy was sitting in a hypnosis kind of concert, and the hypnotist said, "Wake up," and he did, and he saw around him that these aliens were in his midst. So it was like that's how the story started. But I thought that's kind of we need to make it a little bit more modern,
Yeah.
and slow it down a little. You don't want to find that out
Right
too
away.
quickly.
Yeah.
When the sunglasses go on, when you find it out, I also had to have a visual way of something startling visually.
And John, a burning question I wanted to ask for. How did you come up with that beautiful style of sunglasses? How did you find those sunglasses?
I don't really remember, except that you kept putting on sunglasses, and finally that was the one.
I was with Kurt Russell at the time.
I don't know. It just looked really cool on you.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Kind of this the old-fashioned Ray-Ban special.
Ray-Ban, big-horned, and looks like something you'd see aliens with. Here we go, lonely guy.
Yeah.
Always walking by himself, which is pretty much the character and pretty much the truth.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. A little bit of an introvert.
There's Peter Boyle. Look at him.
This gets pretty interesting here.
Hey, we're taking care of a lot of people here.
John knows something's going on. He ain't no Private Eye or Columbo, though.
Oh, I don't know about that now. I don't know about that. Just because he's a working guy doesn't mean he's not pretty sharp.
Yeah. Well,
We are being bred for slavery.
And here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go
they're
again.
pounding them with it. Nobody knows where they're coming from.
Our transmitter is not.
Was this this was the first film that you did? What I'm trying to ask is this the first time you actually spent this much time on a movie making it?
Yes, this is the highest quality, the most heart I've ever put in any movie of my career. To about a year ago, and I'm most proud of this movie because it really helped you pull things out of me that I was afraid to. People must understand that you got to trust a director. Because you're saying things that you don't, it's almost like your therapist. And John Carpenter is an actor's director.
That's sweet.
Very much so, and spent a lot of extra time with me that probably wouldn't have had to with a more experienced actor, but he did it, and he did not have to. So now I'm hearing a choir. I like choir music. I sincerely do. But something's going to happen here that actually scared the dog right out of me.
Yeah, we had that. We had this tie-in here. This is actually right across the street from the other location, and
Yeah, right from the camp, huh?
Uh-huh.
And we were looking at it, and me and my nosy self, I can't stand it.
we get an idea here pretty soon about there's something going on. They Live, We Sleep is coming up.
Now,
Interesting slow pace in this beginning of this film. It's not like a lot of action movies that you see, because it's taken its time to get where it needs to go. A lot of films like to start in the first 10 minutes, they want to hit you with something big action scene, something blowing up. This was a different gig.
as you told me, though, and I remember distinctly, we need to get some character development
Yep.
in the beginning. And on your part, very smart.
We need to know who you are, because you're not going to be playing a cliched character. You're not going to be playing Steven Seagal.
No, I'm not the big beat up kind of guy,
Nope.
just a regular guy.
Yep.
So now what's going on here, guys going?
We have to face facts.
We've got the choir music going. They're having a kind of a meeting of the humans, you see. The humans are meeting to try to figure out what to do. But we don't quite know what they're talking about yet.
No, we're hearing choir.
Yeah, we think, what's going on?
Yeah.
So they're in a church, and this is where they're broadcasting the signals
Okay,
from. And you're
so-
kind of finding this stuff out.
Well, just like when I was a kid, nosier than hell. Oh, well, what do we got here?
Were you a nosy kid?
Well, I was a curious kid.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. But there's a part here that is sincerely scared the dog right out of me, and you're going to see where it is.
New people, strong people.
You originally came from the neighbor to the north, didn't you, Rod?
Well, I was born in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, but I moved a different place every year of my life. And I lived in Glasgow and Australia and all over.
Oh, man.
All over. But, like, right here, I know what's going to happen. It's a film, right? It's a movie. You told me. But, now what? Just a second. This thing kills me. Scared the dog right out of me.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he grabbed me by the throat.
He's blind.
Well,
Come on, he's
and,
blind.
I'm okay now, but when I turned around, I didn't expect him to grab me by the throat.
You're a working man.
Oh, that's fun. That's
Yeah.
fun.
But the thing, you're a working man.
Revolution.
Yeah. You touched your hands. You
Yeah, I
feel it.
felt calluses.
Maybe some other time, huh?
Yeah, Raymond was great. He was a terrific actor.
Yes, sir.
I really enjoyed working with him. There's a lot of joy.
You'll be back.
And then back out you go.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about this is a lot of actors can't carry a movie, Roddy, and you did. It was on your shoulders, the whole film. You're doing everything. It's all
thank you,
seen
but,
through your eyes.
But that's because I was leaning on you.
I can only do so much. You see, you have to have it to begin with. You had to have you had the ability to do it.
Epidemic of violence
and you did, and it's tough. It's tough to carry a film like this because a lot of this is when you see through the eyes of the character. When you're building up something slowly like this, you don't talk it. You don't say it in dialogue. It's how the character reacts to certain things. Oh, here we got some helicopter action. I am a helicopter pilot, and this is the parts that I love. Is flying around. I never get to do it much anymore, though. Too old and too tired. Too bad.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Huh?
I don't know about that. Now, here's I was just asking him out on a date. That's what it looks like. Hey, kid, what are you doing later? However, can I borrow your binoculars? Which was a real good kid, that kid there.
Nick Adams' son.
Nick Adams,
The actor,
that's
yeah.
right, yes. Real good kid. So now the nosy guy, huh? What's going on in there? I gotta know.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh,
Here comes my bud.
one thing that I'm impressed with watching it now is how we shot Los Angeles. Los Angeles to me has always been a really beautiful place, even though it's, it has its problems. But
Yes.
I fell in love with it when I got here. I just love the architecture. I love it's a desert. It's a desert that we've with water and freeways. It kind of just settle,
Yeah.
But on the edge of everything, it's still slightly dangerous place. LA.
Yes,
It's a really unique place.
very much. And that's what he's telling me right now. Mind your own business. It's a dangerous place. But no.
Naturally curious young guy.
Worst place to drive.
You had some nice hair in those days, my friend. Nice hair.
Bless your heart, man.
So it's nighttime. We're going to come up to this big action scene in a minute.
Yeah. Which, when shot, I know it looks great on the screen, but man, in living color live there with the helicopters and those things going, it would just be like you would expect when they come and tear down one of these shanty towns. It's unbelievable. The way people were scrambling, they didn't care about the kids, the government, or the authorities here. And let's just see what happens here for a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, first of all, the good guys are getting away, and I don't know they're the good guys.
Well, none of us really know yet, do we?
No.
The audience doesn't know. We don't know. We don't quite know what's happening.
See, but that's what you do really well as a science fiction director, and that you stretch us on, you milk us to the very last. Just like that.
Yeah. Here come the cops. Now, this was an ambitious scene for us to stage on our little budget,
Yes.
Every action scene that we had that was this size, we had to really make use of it because
Make it work.
we didn't have much.
Yeah.
Try to make it look bigger than it was.
I think
And,
you succeeded.
Yeah, it's okay. We did all right with this. We did some nice stuff.
No, and as we go through here, as an actor, use different subtext and objectives, etc. I had actually gone way back in my own life and was watching these people. We'll get to it here, and I was doing a correlation with what I had seen sometime earlier. So when you take a look in my eyes, I'm seeing that, but I'm actually living it in my heart here.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you had helped me out, and I've learned. This movie is very real to me. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Very, very real to me.
Yeah.
And
I remember a story that you told me once. I won't go into too many details.
go for it.
About some of your friends in Fresno one night when you had some encounters with the
How about them Cubs?
with the
Yes.
police department and
Yeah.
an interesting story.
Yes.
Well, we won't go into details.
No, we'll do that on the next one. Yeah. Harry
Here comes
Potter.
the bull. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The bulldog.
Yeah, you see, so they're bullet. Now, you see, take a look at the guy. He wants to get in it, but he realizes, man, he's seen this before. There ain't nothing. There ain't nothing he can do, and there'll be a moment where he pauses and takes a look around. And I remember flashing back and seeing, maybe not quite this violent, but seeing the same type of idea, and if you catch it in my eyes, it was a painful scene for me to do this particular scene.
Really?
Two scenes in here that were painful for me.
Now, I remember the other one, but this one, that's interesting.
Yeah, and if I can just, there's one, right in about here. Right in about here.
Yeah, we lit you from the helicopter, was throwing lights all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what
There we
big
go.
bright.
In there.
Yep. And the two of you make this smash a connection across there.
And look what Frank does, man. Watch. Oh, like you haven't seen it.
No,
My buddy, he leaves me. So where am I again? Nada.
Nowhere. With
Nowhere, man. No friends, no dogs, no doofus.
So now it's time to run with a Panaglide following you.
Yes, and we know that because you cannot win in that situation.
No.
And those poor people, this happens to these people every day. And there's many people that have watched They Live that have commented about how the homeless were used and commented on the situation. So you did bring a certain amount of awareness. I'm not saying we cured the world, but we brought an awareness.
No, it can't cure the world. Nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Nothing we can do. Oh, yeah. Kind of shades of Rodney King before it happened. Little Rodney King.
Just a tad, huh?
Little Rodney King
But
action there.
it wasn't shot quite this nice.
No. It's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. No, I just thought of that now. Oh, Raymond, getting the crap beat out of him now.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Well,
What do you do in that situation?
you got to keep moving, I think.
You know,
Can't
odds are looking bad.
overwhelming force.
And now, that's me when I was a kid. That's what I'm thinking right there.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Get out of here,
You
kid.
had some hard times, huh, as a youngster? Not that we all didn't have
yeah.
some hard times, but
Yeah, I had a different type of life.
yeah, well, hey. Now I believe we've changed locations. We're somewhere else. I don't
Yeah.
recall where we shot this. That was a nice little thing with the thing there as you're coming in, tipping that over. That was nice.
Thank you.
That was nice. Yeah.
But you notice how he's clutching onto the boy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that I was consciously doing that as an acting piece of business. I think sincerely I was clutching onto him because
That was you.
It was
That was
me.
you. Oh, you were taking.
And
You were
I was-
holding yourself.
Yeah, and I just looking back at it and how I'm holding them.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that was you, surrogate you. Yeah.
Very much.
I don't remember how many days we shot on this, Roddy. Do you have any idea? 30, 40, 30?
I want to say 6 weeks.
Really? Is that something like that, right?
6 weeks, 5, 6 weeks. Yeah.
You're probably right.
But let's see the scene, and then you had a great philosophy. You told me at the beginning that sums up your genius when you do these type of things and why you are one of the best at them. And I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, nice lighting on your face there. That's a little slashes of light.
Yeah. See, that's a good director.
We took care of you.
God
Took care of
bless
you.
God bless you, man. I was in a very ugly time of my life there.
Uh-huh.
I had been wrestling nonstop every day of my life, 300 days a year. And I just got out of the WWF, as we've mentioned before, not to be redundant, but I came from a different world and I did not understand this world. And so I was having a lot of turmoil inside me at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
You know,
But you made the transition all right. You did it all right. You did it okay. And then there's sometimes that you were hurting too, well, you get beat up when you're a wrestler.
yeah.
So you got a real beat up.
Yeah, you get hurting
You
real
get
bad.
whacked.
And I had just came right out of it, so I hadn't had
Yeah.
a period of healing. But more emotionally on the head, where I think it plays into the character somewhat here with confusion, the way he reacts. He doesn't react like a regular person, I don't think, would react. He doesn't back up when he should,
Yeah.
and he goes forward when he shouldn't. What the hell was that, Martha?
It was an interesting thing to step into this world. I remember I went to some video award and Hacksaw Jim Duggan happened to be there.
Oh,
So I was chatting with him. He said, "Hey man, Roddy did such a great job in that. That was really cool."
yeah, but John, I'm being sincere, and I'll tell them what you told me. You said to me before we started shooting, ask me any and as many questions as you possibly can until the first day of shooting, and I don't want to hear a word from you. So, and that was brilliant because the confidence level as we came in was already there.
Now we're coming up to a key scene here. I think pretty soon we're going to be getting into the sunglasses scene.
Okay, so
And this is one of the ones that I'm the proudest of you as an actor because you have to do something that's really difficult to do, which is you didn't, through those glasses that we had, you just had to imagine what you were seeing. See?
Yeah.
You had to make it up in your head.
yeah,
And that's always, it's difficult to do. It's easy when you're sitting across from an actor and they tell you by the lines.
what's going
Well,
on?
and you can react to the words. Here you got to react to something fantastic that's really not there. And
The-
so, what the hell is this? Sunglasses?
Yeah, sunglasses. How do you put this together? Now, what the hell's going on?
And I remember some of the images that you see, almost all of them, not all, but some of them that you see, are simply matte paintings by one of the unheralded geniuses in our business. His name is Jim Danforth. He just did some beautiful photorealistic work. By that I mean you couldn't really tell that it wasn't shot someplace.
Right, no.
The bigger stuff, the big shots, I'll show you when it's coming up. I remember the day we shot this shooting down that street with our extras. We had one guy back there looking at you. Just,
Wouldn't stop.
Who's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now this is just a treating the shot, so it's color, black and white. We get set up, the convention is set up.
Which was a great idea having, well, there.
Now that's a matte painting. That's not
matte.
real. And he takes it off, and that's a matte painting.
Wow.
And they're not real shots, but he did a great job of texturing it out.
Yeah.
So now the audience, without words, you see, which is the gig. You're putting together that this causes a headache, and you're putting together another matte painting. This girl on the side of the building. Up it goes. Mary reproduced. He did the glasses coming down again. You're setting up with the audience something that's nonverbal. Has nothing to do with words. It has to do
So
with you're telling a story without words, which is
International language?
yeah. It's hard to do. I don't want to. I'm not touting myself, but it's a difficult thing to do to get across because you can really get lost if you're not
But
careful.
I think one of the smartest things you did was have it black and white. The difference in black. Ah, I love
Yeah.
that part of it.
Yeah. Well, the luck. Now that's of course a
Whoa.
matte painting, but,
Yeah,
it tells a story. And then all the slogans were interesting. There's a restaurant in I believe it's Washington D.C. or New York. I can't. That is decorated like this.
Yeah.
Only like the black and white part.
Yeah.
No independent thought. Consume. The whole restaurant is like that. It's a bar.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. Go in there and get drunk.
And that's why you see those things.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So we're continuing showing the audience and the main character that his world has forever been changed. The world is not like you think it is. Stay asleep, obey, buy, don't question authority. See, and actually, I must tell you, I have this adolescent hatred of authority.
I do, too.
I've never gotten over it since I was a kid.
I still got it too.
I can't handle it.
Ask me for my shirt off my back, I'll give it to you. Tell me, not a
Yeah,
chance.
that's it.
You know,
So a lot of this comes out of that just hatred of authority.
what is that?
Yeah.
I said, what's your problem?
We were very tricky. I didn't want you to see these things too closely and too much, because the minute that you do it too much, you're kind of screwed. But just enough,
Yeah.
just enough of the face.
Thank you, sir.
We held that one because it was a little further away. Nowadays, you can do special effects like this really easy, my friend, because if you have the money, they have the digital
They want to do
computer
it.
generation, but, in those days, we had to do it the old-fashioned way, which is... Jeff Amata, actually, the stunt coordinator, played every ghoul, everybody. He played women and men.
Did he play every ghoul?
Every one, yeah. Because he could
All right, Jeff.
he could fit into the costumes.
And he didn't mind the pumps.
No, not at all. He liked the pumps.
You know, when you got 14 black belts, you can wear pumps.
I don't want no hassle today. Either pay for it or put
Yeah.
it back.
See, there's one of the gentlemen that you hired right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Why not? Hey.
you say, well, I wish everybody thought that way.
Yeah, why not?
You know, but they don't.
Yeah, we shot this. There's a lot of this stuff we did after we'd finished completed principal photography. We had a little second unit that I cobbled together to shoot little extra shots for us, and
Yeah. You did a good job in describing. The only thing that was difficult was really what did their faces look like in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I had to make up in my mind an alien.
Yeah.
And I made up the ugliest. I was scared of the dark big time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I made up this guy that used to scare me. And that's,
that's
yeah,
it. See, that's what
I
it's all
thought.
about. That's what it's all about.
That's scared me to death.
Nowadays, alien movies are kind of funny. Everybody, it's funny now, don't you think?
Yeah,
it's
yes.
become like the Roswell stuff and all that. It's become like a joke. Yeah. It's
But
not
this isn't funny.
No.
Not at all. But it's real. And I think that's why people endear themselves to it.
Yeah. Oh, they also like your character, and they just like they get with the whole thing. We had to build this part of the supermarket on a soundstage. Look, your point of views are all done later. And we shot you looking this way in color during regular production. So this was all.
Now, I have a question for you. That you made a decision on the set, and then you said that you regretted it. And I wondered today, you're going to see me fall down. And when you see it, when you said, Rod, what do you think? I said, okay, I'll go. And I fell down, and you'll see where it's coming up right here. And then you thought later, after you saw the rushes, it was the wrong call. When you see it now, I would very be interested in what
remember it.
Okay, you're going to see her pretty quick here.
Cynicism is gone. We have faith in
So you felt? Was it a kind of comedy moment there? Did I?
As I was back, you're going to see it in about 30 seconds.
See, you remember this movie better than I do.
We don't need pessimism. There are no limits.
It figures it would be something.
So he's kind of now losing his mind a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
Jeff.
You know,
It's my second wife.
Oh, coming up here when you fell, huh?
Yes.
I don't remember why I objected to it. I can't remember now.
Okay.
Because,
This one.
Because did I think it was over the top?
yeah, you thought
Huh?
it made our hero.
She looks like a regular person, doesn't she, huh? Put him back on.
See, he's explaining to the audience now, finally, exactly what we know in words.
Call the cops.
Call the cops.
You do imitate his voice.
This one.
I thought that's all right.
Well,
What's
at the
wrong with
time
me?
you said do it, and then you thought maybe it made our hero look, I don't know, if clumsy or out of,
I don't know why. I must have been taking some drugs when I said that. 'Cause it looks fine.
No, I had them all. Excuse me.
And you wouldn't share with me. That's what pissed
That's
me.
what I know. So you made me fall.
That's right. Oh man, it's just terrible when people won't share.
It's a problem with the world.
Yeah, I know. So now he's got a little bit different attitude now. He's kind of
Yeah.
we're gonna see this man kind of turn into a vigilante a little bit because
Just imagine yourself at home. You know something, and nobody will believe you.
yeah.
Have you ever been in that spot with your wife? I have.
Oh, we get to do a clothesline here. This is fun. This was fun.
Get those glasses.
Tooth fairy.
Fun. I had never seen that in movies except for I had only seen it in wrestling matches. I really wanted to. There was a clothesline in The Longest Yard, that old football movie.
Burt Reynolds.
Boom.
Yeah.
Puts his arms out, right?
Easier if we don't
The
have
Jaws
this flat
guy.
in your brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Richard Keel.
That's
Richard
it,
Keel.
yeah.
Easy. Hey, you stumbled on it.
So, but you did good. And the stunt man had to take. Well, you whacked him. I mean, it's
did.
hard not to hurt. It's hard not to do that. you know.
Well, if
Just-
if
you
you're
can't-
into it,
you can't pull it. You can't really pull that. That's nice.
God bless them.
And we padded the street a little bit, but it was here's two gun rod coming up here. Nice shot you have here. Wait a minute.
Two-gun
There you
rod.
go. Nice shot. Now one of the criticisms I got was I shouldn't have let you be a vigilante, but you had to. I mean, you had to fight back. I would.
Was I a vigilante, or was I trying to get somebody to believe me what's going on here?
Well,
I
you're
don't
fighting
know,
back
you-
against the aliens. That's what you were doing. And
So that
I
makes
would
me a
too.
vigilante?
Now you grab the shotgun. One of the most famous scenes in a minute is coming up in this film,
Hey,
which
that-
people remember, and they remember your line.
They said, say something, Rod.
Here it comes. And this is something you wrote. This is something that actually you had written, and I thought was just brilliant. It's something that you maybe had planned on using. Here we go.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, you'd planned on using it at one time, and I thought, this is great. Nobody else would
We
say
had that
something
little
like
book
this.
we shared.
You had the book that you let me see your material, and it was great. I thought, this is perfect.
I have
And it kind of came emblematic of you and the movie. Yeah.
But
Fascinating.
and I'm all out of bubble gum.
which is interesting. When we were doing it, I never thought that line would. I mean, I wasn't doing that line because it was going to be, what does Schwarzenegger said, see you later, baby. I never did that line, or you never had me do that line as going to be the line of the movie. So it's like, you never know. You never know what's going to catch on.
No, you never know. And I saw, I happened to tune in a few years ago, and actually you used that in a wrestling deal. It was that kind of
Did
the
I?
theme, yeah. It was cool. It was cool.
I plagiarized it and again.
No, you
did I?
plagiarize yourself. You can do that. It's you. So we continue on. Now there's a man alone against the world for a while here, isn't he?
Yeah. Now,
Man
John
alone.
Schneider's the one who told me how to cock this shotgun, just so you know.
Is that right?
Yeah. As I come through, I said, how do I do it coolly?
Yeah, a little animated deal there.
Yeah.
And you blow it away.
Come to show 'em where I am.
Hey, listen, man, I would do the same thing. If I was if your character in your shoes, I'd be doing all of this. All of this. I'd be
Yep.
crazed. We have a little adventure here in a minute with...
Now, do you remember this?
I said drop it.
Hey, okay. You don't remember the first take, do you?
no, what was it? Tell me.
Okay, so the man comes out. Now, you hear what? Beat your feet, I say to him, right?
Yeah.
He takes off. His first take, his interpretation, when he beat your feet, he started running on the spot. You remember? Remember? He started running on the spot like... and I didn't... I mean, he was trying his heart out. No, that means leave. That means
Oh, I'd
leave.
forgotten that.
Do you remember?
Beat your feet.
Beat
Oh,
your feet, and he started running on the spot.
Oh, no.
God bless him. His heart was into it big time. He just...
Here's Meg Foster entering the movie. Meg was a
Yeah.
terrific actress. I really enjoyed
lovely
working with
lady.
her. And then she's...
And can hit you with a bottle.
well, she does. And you guys did good together. It's kind of a clash between two worlds. She's the upscale girl, and
Yes.
you're the working guy. And
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you need her to get away at this point. So we released this in, brother, I believe it was the fall of 1988, I believe.
88, I think.
The
Fall of
Yep,
80. Yes.
Fall of 88.
Trying to get it close to Halloween.
Yeah, fall of 88. And that was a while ago. What was it, 12? It's been 12, 13 years now?
Has it been that
Yeah, I
long?
think so.
Well, you know what? You don't look a day older.
Hey, that's I know the truth. I know the truth. Age is a funny thing. Yeah. It's a funny thing. Well, those young kids don't understand that.
No.
I talked to them and complained about how...
Yeah.
And I said, you're not going to know till you get there, pal.
No,
You know?
and you're not going to believe me right now.
No,
either. No.
not a word I'm saying. He said, what the hell? You know what bugs me is that it just gets harder, physically, harder and harder to make films because of the work, the pounding that you take. I just as you older you get, the tougher it is.
Yes, more recoup time.
Yep.
You know,
You need.
yeah,
Yep. It's
yeah.
not like the old days. You used to be able to just go, man.
Just grind them out.
Yeah. Well,
So
like
now
you,
that-
you said you fought. I mean, 300 days a year. Come on. I mean, it probably was easier in the beginning, and then it got harder
A
and
lot
harder.
easier. Now I've had over 7,000 pro fights that hold the world's record.
7,000?
7,000. Closest to me is Flair with 5,000, Ric Flair. And now it's like
7,000. My God.
7,000. Yeah, to get in there one time now is a strain. You know, where I just jump in there before.
But doing it all every day of all year long. Well, it's brutal. That's
Yeah,
brutal.
Yeah, and it twists you big time.
Yeah.
But you know, that's another.
That's a different world, though, in terms of that whole thing. And I think nowadays, actually, in some ways, a lot of people, they still don't quite understand.
No, but you know, to simplify it for them, my sport, wrestling, professional wrestling, has the highest suicide rate of any sport in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah, just lost another one just 2-3 days ago. Without getting down here, but
No, that's just the truth. That's all
yeah,
right. That's all right.
It's truth. Here with Meg,
And we shot this near where I live, up in the Hollywood Hills,
Yeah,
in a nice area.
I've been hit by Andre the Giant softer than what you're about to see here.
Oh, did she hit you hard?
Well, oh, now you're giving it. That was deep, John. That was deep.
Actually, as I recall, once she hit you and the bottle didn't break. And it was
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Ow.
did it hurt? Did it hurt?
Ow.
No, it didn't hurt.
The guy who did the stunt, it was who did the flying, flipping out, was the one who took a big one. I don't remember. He took a big
He
one.
was Arnold Schwarzenegger's double also, and he was a friend, and he really wanted to.
Yeah, oh yeah. He put out.
Oh, big time.
That's a big one. That's a big hit.
I swear to you, we're being
But,
controlled by these things. I don't know what they are.
Now this is interesting sequence. Now the whole style of the lighting and everything has changed because you're now in a different world. You see, you're up
I'm in her world.
Yep, it's a whole different situation. It's not the gritty streets anymore.
Yeah, you see, now that takes an experienced director there.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, I do.
I don't know about that.
I do.
But,
Now, of course, I'm looking up at those green eyes.
her eyes are unbelievable, aren't they? Yeah, they're amazing.
Emerald Forest.
Yeah.
She's just,
And they're unusual. They just draw you in. So
yeah. And
So,
so I'm thinking to myself, never mind. Nah.
It's not my way.
and she's was a very, very sweet person. I really dug her. I really dug her.
Not a problem. Ready to do anything, discuss it with you. How can it work for you, and etc.
Yeah.
You know. And you notice right here, I got no idea watching the movie right now as a fan that this lady's about to club me. Because she's playing it, so she sits down there, she folds her hands, you know. So it just goes to prove. Never fight with a woman. You cannot win. I tried it with Tawny Katane. Like, boy, oh boy.
Is that true? You can never fight with a woman? Is that you
I
lose?
can't. I'm marshmallow, man.
Oh.
Give me any guy, but
Not a woman. Huh?
Well, my wife beats me all the time.
Does she really beat you up, huh? Whack,
no,
whack, whack.
well, no.
But she wins.
She just does this. She goes, Roderick, you're being a real jerk.
Oh.
Thank you, honey. I'll go to bed now. So here she's playing she's being so innocent, and so to me right now, she's not a threat to me. Would you like some wine? That'll help kill the pain, you know. And she just slips in, and she's not tipping anything off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I have to be here.
Yeah, we shot. This was near the end of our schedule, Roddy. As I recall, we hit these interiors and a few exteriors right near the very end of the shooting.
Yes, sir.
I remember.
That's right. Absolutely.
I remember that. I was happy to be finished with it because it was
Yeah, it was a tough one, John.
all the night stuff and the day stuff, and it went
All
on
the
and on.
drama
Yeah.
and all the drama and stuff.
Oh, that was a piece of cake. Hey, it was nothing. I had worse. Let me tell you.
yeah.
I won't mention any names, but I've had
no,
worse.
no. We're just
had tougher ones.
We're just being honest.
Yes.
No, this. When I look back at the, here we go.
Okay, you got to get it. So like,
Wham!
boom.
Oh, there
That's
you-
the third time. Now
oh,
look at
oh,
this guy. Look
oh.
at this guy go. Watch him hit. Oh man.
Yeah, he did it.
Oh, he, stuntman. Whew.
That was a big fall. That was a
Big fall.
Like off the top of a cage.
Now look at this. This is where,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm still not sure watching the movie whether she's against me or not, but
Holly Thompson.
And she look at how she plays it. She's just so even and working those eyes on you.
oh, big
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
So now the you're hiding in the part of the Hollywood Hills that no one really sees, but since I live up there, it's the underneath the houses. It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's a strange place.
Yes,
Underneath is not quite like the insides in these little still houses.
I still have those glasses.
Do you really?
Yes, sir. I do. I
Do you?
bought probably 2 pairs, probably.
Did you?
Yeah.
They're really cool.
They were.
Now that's coming down my street. Actually, I live over there on the
Yeah,
other
that's
side
coming down your street?
Yeah, it is. It's coming down Hollywood. We're up on Franklin shooting down.
Yeah. I just got through rid of a stalker.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah. 2 years stalking my family. Gun runner.
Oh my God.
We'll continue.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, it's been. Now, the one thing that John, that you and I agreed on is, we touched on earlier, but with this hero, he hurts, and the more he gets beat up, the more he gets beat up, the more people are going to feel for him, rather than being this tough guy. That gets sold for me to watch. I'll name names. Van Damme, I have nothing against the guy, what he does, but, you'll go through this scene, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you'll have this big fight that means nothing, and big kicks, and the fight means nothing because the fight doesn't do what we did here. The fight matches the story. And not to ruin the rest of the story here when we get to it, but there's a reason for this fight. And whoever came up with the idea was, the best part about it was a fight between, we decided, 2 friends.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And that put a whole other context on it.
Yes.
And we'll
Yeah.
get to it here.
Well, it's it was the. Also, you can look at it any number of ways. You can look at it as, here's the friend trying to show the other friend exactly what reality is.
Yeah.
Here is the white man trying to tell the black man who's oppressing him. You can see it in a whole number of ways if you want.
Very much so.
I
Yeah.
just took it very basically simple.
It just played itself.
Keith's character, I just don't want to be involved with you. You're trouble. You're reaching out to him saying, come on, let me show you the truth. And that's the way I took it.
I've had a rough couple of days.
You can see Keith's great acting.
Nothing to do with you.
He's terrific.
How many people did you kill?
He's terrific. He's also a wonderful guy.
Crazy son of a bitch.
I gotta show you something.
No, you ain't
He
showing
did a
me
great
nothing.
job in a science fiction movie called Pitch Black. Was released a couple of years ago. It was really good. He played
I didn't have the pleasure.
Basically a mullah,
Black,
like
a black man?
he played a priest almost. It was really bizarre. He was great.
I love him to death. And he's also in Platoon, wasn't he?
No, I don't know. He might have been. Okay, we're getting near
Okay.
we're getting near this.
Yeah. So now this
moment.
guy's he's getting pissed off. Nobody's believing him. He's got the dog kicked out of him by a woman. Where are the glasses? No. Dumpster diving again? I thought I stopped that when I was 12. Here we go.
This is an interesting shooting. I was in the inside on that hookup when you fell out. It's an interesting place to be in there.
You were making sure it wasn't getting hurt. Because you remember you saying to me, hey, you can slip down fast on these cardboards that you had there. And so you had me rigged up real good.
See,
Do you know what dumpster diving is?
Yeah, well, sure.
Well, like when I was 12, I did a lot of dumpster diving. So this, again, you hit home a lot with this, but we talked a lot, didn't we, John?
We did.
We got to be fairly.
Well, we got to be
in-
close before I
very-
even finished the script. We talked a lot
Yeah.
about what we wanted to
What
do,
was-
what
yeah.
the kind of movie and the kind of character we wanted to play, that you wanted to play.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, here's the
And-
direction we're going to go.
And-
That was the important thing. Here you are, coming out of the...
My
coming out of
dumpster. Chinese food today. Ooh. Got my glasses.
Oh, he left all that trash.
I was gonna say,
Terrible.
yeah, you know, well, he's a city
Littering.
worker, you know.
Littering. This terrible littering situation
Yeah.
you've got here. Okay, now we're
All
about
right.
to start
right.
one of the great fight scenes in movie history. I would go that far to say I think it's because I think, look, it's a real fight. It's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
It's not a flashy fight in terms of
No,
you
sir.
guys don't have kung fu going. You don't have martial arts. You're not flying through the air.
No,
You're just going at it.
two rounders.
Yep. And
Stay away from me.
And,
I'm telling you, you dumb son of a...
boom.
ow.
Ow, for
Stop.
No.
Now I'm gonna brag on you now because you guys rehearsed this fight month and a half, 2 months, in my
Your
backyard,
backyard a long time.
on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And you had it down. You guys are making contact in this fight, and I'm really proud of both of you for being able. You trusted by that point. You knew what you were gonna do.
Trusted each other.
Yep. You knew how to pull it off.
Yeah.
We spent 3 days in this alley with you guys.
And you set up. I think you set up three different cameras.
Sometimes I did.
And to get everything we needed.
And you went right at it. You both understood. And you know, Keith is not a fighter.
He's
in
a
the sense-
dancer that hits like Ernie Shavers,
And
and he
he's
doesn't know.
great. He's great. He came right into you. Really helped him figure it out.
I remember as we get going. I'll tell you in a second. So when you
Don't want
continue.
to fight? Stop it. No!
Yeah, we and the thing is, it's almost a reel long, the fight in 10 minutes. A reel. It's almost that long. So
But didn't you cut some out of it? You had to cut it down some.
not too much, man. I used every piece of footage we had except the mistakes when we when
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
could see
certainly,
them.
certainly.
When I see the misses on camera, some of the
Good,
really
yeah.
hard hits, but no.
Now, I like this part very much.
The lift up and the
Yeah.
and then
Involved. Get away from me.
And you're right about what makes this fight interesting is that it's between two people who really do like each other.
And
Oh.
it's going to show here in a second. In one part, you had us do. Just give it a second. Now, put the darn glasses on,
Yeah.
would you please? Am I asking too much here?
Put him on.
You're looking a little bloody there, dude. What's going on here? Oh no!
Ah, please.
And then whack.
Oh,
Oh God, that's hilarious.
over a pair
I
of
know,
sunglasses,
I know,
right?
I know.
Two friends.
Two stubborn guys, I would say. Let me put it that way, okay?
Now, here, I'll tell you really quick. We were going, and every once in a while, Keith would miss and catch me. And right here, I said, Keith, you're killing me. Just hit me. And away we went.
It's it's hard. It's hard to do it that fast, my friend,
Yes.
because it's hard not to hit. It really is. Of course, you know that. Hell, how am I telling
Yeah,
you?
but
Oh,
for
ow.
Keith, oh, yeah.
Ouch. Splashing around, biting.
You son of a gun.
Bang. Bang.
Which our hero keeps getting the dog kicked out of him. That's what I
Love that.
like.
We love that, though. Everybody
Yeah,
loves that.
I
Everybody
like
loves
that.
Love it. Whack your hero a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting mean
Hey,
now.
getting a little mean.
Ow. Ow.
Oh, yeah, haven't had a kid since then.
Oh, damn.
Good thing
rough.
I got all my work in before then, So now this especially where it shows about the friendship part.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming out there with a 2x4, and I'm mad. And all of a sudden, he gets the bottle.
Yeah.
And what is he going to do? He's going to come after me. And then I go, what am I doing? He's my friend.
Yep.
Whoop.
Ouch. And you laugh.
Whoop.
And pisses him off.
And here we go again. But I didn't want to kill you. Just put the sunglasses on. That's the charm of the fight, I believe.
I believe you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, well, it's one thing. Look, it's one thing when you have a fight against an obvious villain.
That's
okay.
different.
It's easier.
Yes, much
It's
easier.
easier. And the style of the fight changes. It's different when you have these two men have a relationship and they have a connection between each other.
Yeah. And
Then
that's
it's-
what you established at the beginning. So
Yep.
this works.
Yep. I believe we do. We kind of end this with a suplex.
Yes.
As you demonstrated, you asked me one night when we were at the Valley office. You said, "Okay, what kind?" And you started doing it on me. From here. Oh, Jesus.
hang on. I got the idea.
Well, wait a minute.
Any one of those will work, thank you.
Whichever one you want. No, it's fun. You showed me a couple of wrestling things, which were really fun to see. Getting out of the headlock was interesting.
Ah, yes.
I never thought of that one before. So it's basically a gut wrench, isn't it? Bang.
Yes.
Gut wrench.
Now that's a painful move, even for Keith with padded up and stuff that we just did.
Yep.
He trusted me because easily break your neck there if I don't get you up high enough. Plus, when you land, I don't care. It's 225 pounds landing on concrete there.
Yeah.
So he was a real game guy, man.
That hurts.
It hurts. It hurts.
It
It
hurts.
hurts. It does.
It hurts.
And then look,
Yeah. And now, finally, you've made your point.
I got an ally.
Oh, that's what you've been talking about. What I also love is following this fight, we see the two of you walking down the street, and you're still carrying a little of the fight with you.
Yeah, and that was you. Yes. When we come up to the guy.
You're still a little
We're
raw
so
from
beat
the.
up.
Oh yeah, you're still a little raw. But now, and one of my favorite lines, "Life's a bitch and she's back in heat." And
Randy Macho Man Savage loves that line.
does he?
He uses it all the
Does
time.
he really?
Yeah, and every once in a while he'll go to me and says, "Well, here we are coming to think." He
Yeah,
says,
and you still have a little hostility, even though you're together. There's still a little edge to it.
Look, the mouth is so swollen on me, and the hero is way more beat up, which is great. So now we're going to come in and say hi to the clerk. Couple of real regular guys.
Is Randy still working, or is he? Is he out of
Randy
business?
Savage is no, he's just staying on the beach right now.
Good for him.
Yeah,
He put in his time, boy. Woo. Big time, huh?
big time. Yeah.
After a while, those jump leaps have got to just start killing you. Those leaps on your hips. I mean, off the. You got to.
You're losing bones. You're losing bones. You're losing your mind. You're losing your body.
It's gotta hurt. I mean, it's just gotta drag you down big time.
You know what it does? It makes you not care about your own safety and health, which is a very dangerous man.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
not good.
if you're going to fight somebody that doesn't care about themselves, hard guy to beat, because there's
Yep.
nothing. You got to kill him.
Yeah, that's not good.
Figuratively.
That's not good.
Figuratively.
Yeah.
That's for you, Ephialus Sibilus Jr.
Hey, you don't look so good there, pal.
Well, you know,
8 last grand.
just did that run in Chicago, and
Now this is a little set that we put together. That's another Matt Payne. We put together a little set for you guys to shoot this.
now this is the scene I loved and hated the most.
Yeah. I hear you.
And you had to work with me a lot on it. And looking back at it, I wish I could do it again because I think I could do a lot better job of it. But it is what it is.
I thought it was real. What do you want more than real? Do you know what I mean by that? How can you do
sir.
better than real?
Yes, sir. Delivery.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, all you need is authenticity. You don't care about perfection.
Yeah.
Authenticity. You know that? Yeah, I thought that was you.
I felt that
You know, that really answers my fucking
I felt that I
So
was
when you get some kind of master plan, you let me know. Huh?
over the top.
Oh, you're all right.
Of
You
the,
were fine. You got to finally explode. You've been holding it in for so long.
yeah.
You got to emotionally explode on him a little bit. It's like, God.
Yeah.
Because you've been so controlled, and you were the one who's been put upon.
Look at his face. Look at mine.
I know.
He's the dancer. I'm a world champion.
But I think the scene that we're talking about and coming up when you're talking,
Hard scene for me.
and here it is, and it's it was tough, but only because I think you had to open up a little bit. That's all.
I
It was hard.
was pretty scared too.
Yeah. Well, you'd never been asked to do that in a movie before. Hey,
In
man,
front of somebody.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Cameras rolling, crew is standing there.
And
It's not easy. It's not easy to do.
no,
No, I was proud of you. I was only from our discussions before we made the movie, when we were getting to know each other, that I came up with this idea, not from any personal thing that happened, but I came up with it from some of the things you told me about, the being on the streets and the tough upbringing. I thought, why not try this? And you did great with it.
well, I'm glad you did, because it gave the characters humanity.
Yeah.
Human quality.
We see the tough guy, but he underneath you get to see he's got his pain.
John, that's what I'm saying. I think I could have got opened up a lot more and showed a lot more pain. I still think that I'm being too tough there.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, but that's I'm never happy.
Hey, it's 13 years down the line, dude.
God
Hey,
bless you.
hey,
Yeah, I got you. Ease
Every
up.
movie I see, I think, I wish I'd done that different. I could
Yeah.
have done that better. I could have structured this a little bit differently.
Yeah.
What was I thinking that
Well,
day?
yeah.
God, what was wrong with me?
And you had talked to me for about an hour straight before I did this scene, and you wouldn't let anybody come around me, and you really protected me.
Hey, man, that's not much different than what Brando and those folks were doing in the 50s when they were making movies. That's method. They really needed that time to gather themselves, to get into it and do it.
And somebody you can trust.
That's a whole secret.
If
Somebody
you can't
is gonna
trust your
catch you.
director,
He's going to catch you if you fall. Go ahead, make a mistake. I won't hurt you.
I won't hurt you. I'm not going to
manipulate you.
let you be the brunt of jokes. And you know what? I'm going to stop you if it ain't working. And I'm going to do it again, so I won't make an egg on your face.
Right.
And in my business, you don't trust many people.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. I tell you, I had 100% trust.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
That worked out.
Watch out, no
And look, you guys actors, you get up in front of a camera,
needs a wake-up call.
and you expose yourself all the time, one way or the other, and rejection is right around the corner for an actor. All the time.
Yeah.
Actors go out and to try to meet for a meeting. I want to do this movie. Rejection.
Yeah.
Reject. Well, it's painful, dude. It's terrible.
After a while, it
hurts.
really, yeah.
It hurts, just like getting hit in the ring and falling hurts. It hurts emotionally. So
Maybe more.
no, yeah.
Sometimes.
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 So my job is to try to make it easier for you.
Well,
Comfortable. Get comfortable.
I suppose maybe babysitting would have been the word. But whatever you had to do, you knew me at that point well enough
Yeah.
to keep everybody away from me. I'm not a people person. And I remember we were looking out a window and the set was behind us, and other than Jeff Ramada, we were talking about another scene, you stayed away, and then you just started talking to me and talking to me and talking to me, but you didn't make a point of it. You didn't say, okay, let's talk about this. You just kind of slipped into it and, are we ready? Okay, let's do the scene. And big time help.
Oh, cool. Well, I enjoyed one of the fond memories I have of you and I personally was sitting watching wrestling together. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 12, 13 years old. I've always
God
dug
bless
it.
you, man.
I used to go. I used to watch matches in Nashville, Tennessee, and
Sure.
saw all the old timers, and I even wrote a column for the Ring magazine. The
How old were you when you did that?
15.
That is sensational.
I would go to the matches and I would, report.
Do
them.
you ever have any of those left?
Oh, somewhere.
Oh, geez, they're collectors.
I remember when Freddie Blassie came through the South, and I guess he was on a tour fighting.
The Southern Heavyweight Champion.
He was fighting Tex Riley's an old timer who finally passed away. But I actually got to see. Oh God, what was his name? He's still teaching. He's one of the most
George
famous.
Animal Steel?
No, even older than that. Champ from way long ago. I can see his face. He was on the documentary that they did recently.
Not Jake. They did three people: Brett, Jake, and
Sell out right away.
shoot that other guy.
But he was an old world champion, actually from the 40s. Oh, we're talking way back.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Way back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here now we're all in the story. We're all kind of getting on the same side here, and we know that we are definitely outnumbered, but I don't really want to. Yes, I will use this. We had a terrible thing September 11th, and I have so much pride for those people in that fifth plane of the heroics that they've done. I don't mean to compare it to this at all, but in the same sense, this right here, we're doing the same thing. We've got a problem, and only a few of us know about it, and we're willing to put our lives on the line, and that's America.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is America. So I see that much the same as this, to obviously a lesser extent.
We didn't have all that much time down in this set, as I recall.
No, we were
had to
moving
come
fast here.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
We had to do a lot of dialogue. We had
And
to do
then-
the scene, and then we had to have the big action
Boom,
scene.
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
And I only had a limited amount of time. That's what happens when you make a lower budget film, is that you can't spend days on every scene. You got to make it quick, and you got to call your shots. You got to know where you need to be close, know where you need
You
to be
knew
wide.
what you wanted, when,
Well-
and you knew what the next shot was, and you kept them moving.
Now, sometimes you make mistakes. That's the problem with it.
No,
You
that
have
was
to
my
live.
job.
You know, you have to live with the mistakes that
Yeah.
you make. Now, Pete gives his big speech here,
Getting too sloppy. That's all there is
which
to it.
I remember something about him. He asking me a acting question. I just sat here with Pete yesterday doing another movie we did together. He's unbelievably funny,
Go to work. Punch
but
your
he had
time clock.
some problem with this particular
We've gotten reckless.
exposition. Exposition
He
is
did.
hard for actors. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just hard to give the information out.
yeah, and
Because it's not emotional and it's hard. It's not conversational.
out
It's like
there. Yeah.
X, Y, Z, A, B.
This is where we
Yeah.
are in the story.
Yeah.
Don't stand a chance with a few
But
guns.
he did a
and
great job. Pete's
But
a
he
great-
he didn't like his performance here. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I had to do the same thing.
You
which
see,
is that
now I'm
Pete-
going. I think he's great.
I know, but Pete, you're doing great. Don't relax. Every actor has the same problem. You all are the same. You got to understand that. You all feel the same way about your work. How you felt earlier about
Yeah.
that one scene.
Yeah.
Every actor feels that way. I have
So
never seen
would
an
you,
actor.
Would you call that insecurity, or would you want our perfection, trying to reach
It's
perfection?
I'm calling it part of the profession of acting. I
Trying to do the best you
never
can?
seen an actor that I've worked with ever say, I did a great job. Every one of them has said, I could do better. Every single actor.
And that's something that
Yeah,
I feel.
every one of you.
I feel the same
Yeah.
way, and
Is
I
it?
very seldom watch myself.
Yeah.
I don't like to watch myself much. So that's why they have this plastic bag here beside me.
And that's interesting because you have a tear, an interesting tear in you as you love to act,
Oh, I love it.
but you don't really like to watch yourself, and that's fascinating.
No, and I don't watch myself wrestling.
You
I
don't?
No, sir. No,
That's interesting. I wonder why.
I don't
You're
like
too critical.
myself.
You're too
I don't
critical
like
of
myself.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go.
I don't like
You're
myself.
hypercritical of yourself, and that
You
can be.
know.
But see, that can be destructive for an actor. You gotta let go of that for a while. At some point,
Some point.
you can't be eating yourself up because.
Yeah, as I've aged, Here, this was shot great because, like you said, we didn't have no time.
Yeah.
And there was smoke and stuff going around. The only thing that I got a gun. All right, John's giving me a gun.
Finally,
Finally.
he takes the squibs and go down. People are dying right and left,
Yeah,
and we're firing
yeah.
and shooting.
Yeah, it's looking good too. Look, oh yeah. I mean, that's big. That's big looking, man.
Yeah. We didn't have much time with this.
No, sir.
I believe we did this
One night.
Yeah, and we did it in one night, and we had to do a little bit dialogue first.
Yes, sir.
So everybody's moving around and firing and shooting. Yeah, it turned out good.
Boom, and then we get behind in an alley that gets interesting.
See, you remember this much more than I do. Much more than I do. But I have a tendency to do that when I make a movie. I completely try to forget it.
It's over. On to the next
Everything
one.
is done. Everything is finished. I don't want to. Oh, yeah, this sequence. Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Back behind the cans there. Okay, you go.
Yeah. Now, this was, you guys are using full loads in this, is that correct?
We're using full loads, and one of the things where, in a gun battle, I have learned on the cinema, you can look like you really don't know what you're doing, or you can make it look like a gun battle should. And in real gun battles, you hide a lot.
Yeah.
You put the thing over top, and
how would you know?
Well, I read it in National Geographic.
Of course you did. You wouldn't. And that's the only way you'd know. I know that.
And
I got you. No, I got you. You've heard about it. You've heard about it.
I've heard. I read the articles and stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
But now here's where the first really cool thing happened.
Yeah, well, if I remember this now, this was the transport device.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
and we
right.
hadn't known nothing about it. I didn't know nothing. He's Keith's going, Frank's going, get set to sweat.
And here they come.
Oh,
and
we're
you're
in
trapped.
trouble.
But you find a way, a kind of magical way out, which is a kind of transport device.
And isn't that the way he goes, what's that? I don't know. Oh, good. We've got 27 coming. What is that? Let's just go. Do you remember us jumping down that hole?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I'm trying to get my arms through it.
Well, it's not that big, you know what I'm saying?
And I've got that Santa Claus thing going on.
You're a big guy. It's hard to, both of you. Neither of you were.
He's bigger than I am.
There you go.
Oh, but it was so cool. Now it's really getting, it's really starting to crack, that action part.
And we're also going to go behind the scenes to show, basically the setup of the aliens. Now, we were under these tunnels that connect, they're underneath Los Angeles. Well, they connect various city buildings, municipal buildings. They're used to go in between, like City Hall and the courthouses and the police. And I've never seen it in a movie before. I'd never seen this location. It's interesting.
No, but it was hallway galore.
Oh, boy. And a lot of that's just kind of lit natural light down there because we had to light you guys up close, but we couldn't light that hallway any more than this. No. And there you get a little alien writing situation there, whatever that was. And we had more made-up stuff, and down you go. Those are big hallways.
There was an improv in here, too, on a gunshot.
See, you guys, you remember much more than I do.
I just wrote the book, so I had to.
You remember it all.
Oh, Lord.
Now, that makes me so sad. I can't remember so many details.
Nah. Here's an interesting scene.
So now we go. He comes in and wipes the camera, and then you come out of black. And now we're in the Biltmore downtown, which has been used 100 million times in movies, but still, this is
not by these folks.
Exactly. This is one of those scenes where it's kind of the meeting of the aliens and the rich.
But what's humorous here is, although they have their backs to us and stuff, here's two of the rum-dumbest guys you've ever seen. They're all in tuxedos, and they don't seem to notice us.
And you're hiding your guns there.
And we're hiding our guns, right? Walking to the buffet. And
trying to blend in.
And blending in.
Yeah,
but they do have our backs to us, so we can justify that. I can.
Well, that was a little push, but...
That's the fun of it.
What the hell?
That's the fun of it. Man.
By this point in the film, with what...
There's Jeff.
Yeah, I decided we have to pull the stops out here. We can go beyond what... Just a little bit beyond what might be realistic because...
Yeah, but isn't that the magic of movies?
Well, sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is. I remember one we had a preview in I believe it was on City Walk at Universal. We showed the movie and we were outside afterwards. I remember this one kid came out and he had, of course, been brought up with his Rambo films, right?
Oh, sure. Right? First Blood.
Yeah, all those, and he came out, and I remember he was confused about the meaning of the movie, about the money part. about it being the money. I could see it in his eyes. He was expecting it to be jingoistic and rah-rah and the good guys and it had bothered him a little bit. I wanted to go over to him and say, "Why, but I left it alone."
Yeah.
That's his reaction.
That's interesting. Everybody has a different take on it.
On this. Yeah.
Especially this film. I get so many different comments on this film.
What do they say to you?
They say things like, the obvious, like, we love the film. That's the first thing they say, always. They tell me that it's a huge cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
They say to me, those sunglasses and aliens, man, they were freaky. And it is. And I'm just trying to, right off the top of my head, get different things. But they really got off on the idea, what are these sunglasses? What are these sunglasses? And then when they saw the alien, it's like, whoa, that really grabbed them. Really grabbed them strong. They didn't expect to see that.
And they thought that I put your head on another person's body?
They thought that you put my head on a bodybuilder or something when I was doing that scene to make me look good.
I don't get that at all.
4 o'clock every morning I was in the sun, I would like to just strangle him. But
well, maybe you see you look thinner on TV. You don't, people don't realize how you're built. They really don't get it until they're up close.
But now here's something interesting that you actually, John, you paved a huge road. I was the first wrestler ever in history of wrestling to star in a major motion studio picture that became #1 box office of the weekend. And that paved the road and gave the itch to I don't know how many wrestlers. And not one of them to this day has put out a quality picture like this. And not one of them has had a #1 hit like this.
But you have to do the right thing. With a lot of the guys, like Hulk did a couple pictures.
Yeah.
He tended to play himself.
Yes.
You played somebody else. See, that's the secret.
Now, here's
you could do
something
that.
probably I've never told you. Vince McMahon Jr.
That's the one who's running it now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or the WWF. I was hired by his daddy, but when he didn't want me to do this movie with you at all.
Yeah, I figured.
And he said through a lawyer that I was doing one time, he said, you tell him that Hulk Hogan and Roddy, we were called the franchise at one time, Hogan and Piper, and he says, you tell him that Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon are the only true blue WWFers. And then he came up to me and he says, I tell you what I'll do. Within 4 weeks, I'll get you another movie at the same price. I said, not with John Carpenter directing, you won't. And that's what split me from the WWF.
Why did he not want you to do this movie?
Because he's a
wasn't
control
it?
freak.
Okay.
That's all it was. And Lord help us if somebody did something better and got over better than he wanted. And it saved my career, this movie. Because, well, I don't know if you want me to get into that.
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, the audience is ready. Whatever you
Okay,
feel.
well, let me tell you what's going on is, you see, I was in the WWF, and this was WrestleMania 2. I was boxing Mr. T in Nassau, Chicago Bears in a battle royal against the wrestlers in Chicago, and Bundy and Hogan in L.A. And help me out, I'm punchy. I wanted to tell you something. What was I telling you?
You're telling me about the issues behind you doing this movie. I said, why didn't McMahon want you to do this film? I don't get it. Control.
Yes. So in the second round, boxing with Mr. T, I've been the same kind of guy all the time. And second round, the people just started chanting my name, Piper, Piper. I never did, and it just went like wildfire. It was so hot at that time. And Hogan went to McMahon and said, well, to hell with it. I'll just ride on his kilts. And I got it back. McMahon said, don't worry, I'll take care of Piper. So that's why he tried to keep me down. So I said to myself, well, wait a second. Because he would have squished me. I said, if I got an opportunity with John Carpenter, I'll get out of my business, go around, I didn't know we'd be this lucky or this fortunate, get a #1 hit. When I came back to wrestling, I was twice as important as when I left. So you saved a good portion of my career with me not having to do other tactics to get it. How are you going to deny this? And when I came back, what's he going to say?
The politics of that business are something I don't get, and I don't, I think the politics of the movies are tough. I can't imagine. I can't imagine in wrestling the politics, especially when you have people in control and powerful guys who you have to work for. It's a tough gig.
They've got one where I call it now. I just started a brand new league, the XWF. Its guy's got $9 billion. And it's going to be all over the world, in China and stuff. And one of the things I said is we don't have a wrestling league. We got a pornographic league, but we don't have a wrestling league. So I want to stay with the movie here.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I saw Vince McMahon pull down his pants on TV and have the wrestlers actually kiss his bum. Well, in my time, would he ever ask that? But you don't have that kind of money. Yeah. Nobody's got that kind of money. So this was all back to what I'm saying. This was the best move of at that time for my career.
Oh, good.
And that's thanks to John Carpenter.
Well, hey.
Nah, tell the truth. I'll tell you when it's not.
But I think the fans, wrestling fans are all over the world. Wrestling's such a huge deal, and people love you. They want to know what's going on.
Can't go any place anymore, but that's not a bad thing. They just, hey, how are ya? They're just wonderful people, man.
And you were a heavy dude. You were the bad guy, but they loved you. They loved
to hate me.
They loved that character that you were.
Yeah. The thing was, okay, this was the improv.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And so I didn't know there was somebody coming behind me, and I don't know if we might not have left it in. But I thought I was pretty slick. But that was only 5 seconds of the entire movie.
We're getting near.
Taking my best stuff out.
We're getting near the end of the film now. This is the kind of the final action, the siege on the building.
Okay. Oh, this is great. This was an all-out get-em scene, and it looks just as good as Lethal Weapon or any of the others. You did it in such a style, and this is my favorite part, being the action part. So I like this. This is the greatest part.
That's
I think.
Very nice of you. We had a whole lot less money than Lethal.
Oh, we sure did. But it's we had just as much talent from John Carpenter.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's a God's truth.
Now we're going to have a little betrayal moment coming up here, which I really enjoyed a lot. I thought that was fun to do.
I think it fooled everyone. Yeah. Do you?
I don't know if it did, but I didn't expect it if I was an audience member.
No.
She was too cool.
Too cool. Couldn't read her.
Yeah. You like that gun, huh?
Oh, I love doing that. That's my favorite stuff. That's it. Give me another one, John. That's all right. I'll go by myself.
Actors love.
See, now there.
Over. And it's quick. It's quick.
Boom.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kids can watch it.
Yeah, because you don't.
You didn't do that. Yeah.
You're not showing too much.
Here we go. Now, this was a very, very special time for me in the movies because the helicopter was coming up. It was a big production shot. I don't want to ruin this.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
It was a big production shot, and all of a sudden, I'm turning around, and I was thinking of a lady named Lorraine Gauthier Albertine that dropped me on my bum one time when I really, really loved her. And it came as a shock. So I remember the helicopter coming up, and boom, and I remember thinking of Lorraine, and here I didn't want to just kill her. I was hurt more. That's where I was coming from. But at the same time, we're in the jam that we're in, and she's got a gun. Lorraine didn't.
She didn't.
No.
It's pretty painful stuff when that rejection, isn't it? And the love.
Oh man, I've had it a lot in my life. There she goes, boom. Now here's where the character really shows his colors.
Yep.
He knows he's gonna die.
That stuff was flying all around you when we did that, as I
Do
recall.
you remember when they put the squibs on backwards? Okay, and the guy told me all day, oh, you see that?
Yeah.
See, that's...
Yeah,
hey.
we had a good time with that.
Yeah.
And then...
Now this, I wish I had done better, and you told me how to do it after the time. Things were crazy. But I'll tell you what I wish I would have done
I think
better.
you did it just fine, though, dude. I think you're
Think
just
so?
being... No, he's always the rebel.
I think it should have been straight and strong. Instead of just a week, it should have been my last defiance.
You'd been shot. You've been shot.
Yeah, but I'm Roddy Piper. Oh no, I mean I'm not a.
That's it. Hey, it's been really great sitting with you going through this movie today.
John,
We're
I
usually
haven't
getting to
seen you in 12 years.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I think it's been since
we talked in '93. We talked on the phone in Toronto because you were up there making a movie. And
Okay.
we chatted on the telephone.
And then one time, just fairly recently, but I haven't seen you in 12 years, and it's been a real pleasure. I looked forward to doing this with you, and soon as we talked, there was no hesitation in my voice, absolutely. And as it ends, I want to say, you know, John, you have made a living from directing films here in the film capital of United States, LA, and the true test of genius or true test of talent is longevity. And you just made another movie. I don't know how many you've made. You write them. You do the soundtrack. I was there when you did the soundtrack. You do the whole 9 yards. And I don't know many directors that do that. The bottom line I want to say is you have stood the test of time. And the other thing that I hear about They Live all the time is I'm a huge John Carpenter fan.
That's nice. Well, I tell you, I'll give it back to you. I've never had another actor put the sleeper on me and experience what that's like. And I got to tell everybody out there listening, man, that thing puts you out in about 10 seconds.
It does work, doesn't
It's
it?
down. You're down and out. All right, guys, thanks for listening to us. And Roddy and I'll see you in the movies.
You betcha me. You'll be a half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead.